So today we're going to talk about asthma and some very interesting things about asthma that maybe you've never heard before. What is asthma? It's a chronic lung inflammatory condition. It's really a problem with your immune system. Some of the symptoms: wheezing, coughing, chest tightness, shortness of breath. It's usually worse at night when you're exercising, you're exposed to more air pollution, or being exposed to certain type of allergies that you have that trigger the asthma. One of the best remedies for asthma is sunshine. If your child has asthma, put them outside and have them be exposed to a lot of sun. That gives them the vitamin D that they need, and you'll see that they'll have less asthma symptoms. Now, look at this. 397,000 people a year die of asthma. That was in 2015. It usually begins when you're younger, before 12 years old. The Greek word for asthma means panting, okay? Exposure to bacteria in early childhood prevents asthma, versus living in a hyper-clean environment increases your risk of getting asthma. Why is that? Because you develop your immune system through being exposed to pathogens. So you start developing antibodies. So without those antibodies, you have a weakened immune system. Also, there's a decreased risk of getting asthma if you lived on a farm or you have pets. Why? Because there's more exposure to pathogens when you're living on a farm or you have a pet. What increases the risk of getting asthma is having early antibiotics. So you're a young kid and you keep getting this infection, and your parents put you on an antibiotic over and over and over. That will increase the risk of asthma. Also, if you had a C-section, that can increase the risk of getting asthma by 20 to 80%. Why is that? Because you're less exposed to the good bacteria that you need as a part of your immune system. So if you have a child that has asthma, I would definitely get them on a probiotic, because the gut health is vitally important. And of course, with a lot of vitamin D. Now, there's a pretty interesting therapy, which I like, called Buteyko Therapy. I put a link down below. Here's what happens. When you have asthma, you're breathing from the upper chest. You're breathing more out of your mouth. You're trying to get more air in, okay? And the problem with that is that heavy mouth breathing decreases your CO2, and that is not a good thing. So when you have decreased CO2 in the lungs, you have also decreased oxygen in your blood, because CO2 and oxygen work together. And what happens when you have less CO2, the oxygen binds tighter with the hemoglobin and it's not released. So start breathing through your nose, okay? Doing that is going to help normalize the CO2 and the oxygen. And you want to calm down the breathing. You want to breathe slower and calmer. That's going to stimulate something called the parasympathetic nervous system. Because think about it. When you're under stress, you activate the sympathetic nervous system. And especially even when you start breathing like that, that is going to create a vasoconstriction, okay, not a vasodilation. Well, we already have a problem with air getting to the lungs and oxygen throughout the body. So we want to slow it down. We want to focus on breathing through the nose, the diaphragm, and that will actually create a much better effect. So anyway, I put some links down below. Check them out, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, we're back.
With another amazing recipe.
No grains, no sugar, totally keto. There's no suffering in keto.
Absolutely not, Karen.
And it's an immune system builder.
Absolutely. You have to check this out.
I think you should hurry up, watch the recipe, and make it yourself. It's just so easy to be keto.
But is it simple?
It's super simple. We hope you enjoy making it as much as we are enjoying eating it.